mucho grandes, muy grandes.
Hello, mijo? Are you there? What are you doing? Are you being good? Javier? Are you there? Javier.
No quiero ir al infierno. No, estaba viendo una mujer que tenía unos pelones así grandes. Eso es todo, pero...
What is up, my Ramilia fans of the Los Angeles Rams? So the Rams lost another winnable game. We'll get into the horrible. We'll get into the horrible refereeing at the end. The NFL has to do something about that. But that's not the only reason why we won. But also to remember, for all the Niner fans that are happy because we lost, Niner sickness, and Dominator 49er, God bless them. They haven't seen a Super Bowl in 30 years. They're chomping at the bit. But as I told everybody before, this young Rams team with 12 rookies, we didn't even have our starting running back, our backup running back. We had to scrape Darrell Henderson off of the scrap heap, off of his couch to come and run the ball. He still ran we had our running game still had 135 yards, which is above average. And Puka Nacua went off. There's a lot of great things to go from, but we got the loss. It is what it is. But also too, this Steeler team is better than when they played the 49ers. They had their receiver, their offensive guard back. This team was Pickett is playing better than he, even though he's not really great. He's playing better than them, but he has his weapon back, and he has his offensive lineman back. But still, the Rams should have just won this game very easy. Brett Maher missed 2 kicks and an extra point. That's 7 points right there. The Rams would have been ahead by double digits and 2 scores, and then now the Steelers have to be one-dimensional, and the Rams can get after them. But like I said before, this young Rams team is going to make mistakes. We're going to lose games. Guess what? That's not a surprise. It sucks that we keep losing winnable games. It always sucks. The Bengals game, we could have won that one, but we didn't. This game, we should have won this one, but we didn't, but that's just the way it goes. It sucks, because we had a great opportunity to get to 4-3, and we just weren't able to. And then Kyrie Williams was running really well, and then he got hurt. But that's just the way the NFL goes. But it does crack me up though that the Niner fans are all giddy after losing to the Browns. And a third-string quarterback. And Brock Purdy got exposed to the quarterback he is. He's a system quarterback. He's a game manager. He's not a guy that can play against man defenses. You do have to have a good pass rush against him. But yes, indeed, they have their own surprises for him. The only difference is we're trying to get back up to where we were a Super Bowl contender, and we've already given the Niners and the Eagles everything they wanted. The only thing is we didn't show up for the second half. We're a learning team, but they are supposed to be in Super Bowl window now. So we'll see. I said it's not going to happen again this year, and then we'll be back to Super Bowl contending next year with all of our draft picks, a clear cap. Probably going to get Montez Sweet or Chase Young from the Washington team to help on the edge. We'll add some more pieces with the clear cap, and sorry, Niners, you didn't do it. Get out of the way. It's our turn. But you do have those regular season banners you can put up. But yeah, so let's just get back to this game. So the Rams lose 24-17 to the Steelers. And Brett Maher, I think he's officially on the hot seat. I think the Rams are going to bring in some kickers. And he wasn't the only reason why we lost. Cooper Kupp started off slow. He dropped a couple of passes that are really uncharacteristic of him in the first 2 drives. And anytime me and Stockton were talking about that, anytime you leave a team like this close, you don't take advantage of your opportunities, you're in to get bit in the ass. And that's what happened to us today. It sucks that it happened. but it did happen, and we just got to lick our wounds and go from there. But yeah, Brett Maurer is a problem because he cannot be trusted now. He's made some good kicks too, but he's also missed very important kicks. It's the first time that it's really bit us. So we're going to see what happens as that goes on. I wish that Zach Evans would have got a chance today to get some reps, and because there was a couple of plays where we broke Rolls Royce Freeman into past the line of scrimmage, and he just fell or he couldn't get around the corner, but he doesn't have the Zach Evans speed and agility. Zach Evans may maybe been able to take it to the house, but that's a lot to ask out of a rookie running back. But still, you got to get him you got to get your playmaker some reps. But I understand, we don't want any mishaps. He did have a tendency to fumble here and there in college, but yeah, it sucks. But Puka Nacua has been amazing. Another 154 yards receiving, I believe, and we just gotta lick our wounds and on to the next game, the Cowboys. We'll see what happens with that. Let me get into the chat. I was sorry I was tardy. I was meaning to come in sooner, and then it took longer to get my stuff together. One Kelly Ram says, "Sickness show some respect. How old were you when you Pew Pew Crew won the Super Bowl?" Exactly what I'm saying. I mean, it's been a long time for them. Dominator says, "Refs to our Super Bowl as well versus Chiefs. It happens to the best of us." Yeah, well, Dominator, I don't like that the refs, came in today, but the rule has to be changed. Forget that it happened against us today, but if you're in the championship game, this is a pretty big game. It's a regular season game. We need all the wins we can get to the wild card. We would have been 4-3. We still would have had to score a touchdown, but we stopped him. His knee was down, and just because you don't have any timeouts, they can't do what's right. Like they can't. Whenever the ball changes possession, right? The ref should step in. Oh, look, you know what? That was actually a pretty close play. Let's review it, regardless if you have timeouts. Regardless if you have timeouts, the ball changed possession, and it's a one-score game. They should have to be able to review that. You use timeouts for strategy, and you want to get the ball back, but it shouldn't penalize you where something happens and the refs made a mistake, and then you can't correct it. The ball changed possession just barely by the hair of the chinny chin chin. And they didn't want to review, or they couldn't review it. It's not set up that way. They need to change that law. Forget it happened against the Rams. Niner says, "I watched all 7 Super Bowls in person. My first game was 1976. That's awesome, man. It's great to have a great memory." Memories. Dominator 49 says the penalties are on the all-time high across the league. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say something, Dominator 49er. I hate when a game is called with penalties or referees. And the fact of the matter is, it's our fault that we lost this game. That's just one call. The other one who was against the Bengals, they tugged Tutu's jersey in the end zone, and we didn't get a call. We would have been first and goal. That would have if we would have scored a touchdown, which most likely 9 times out of 10, if you get a team on the 1-yard line, unless you have a fierce defensive line, it's hard to stop a team from going 1 yard, but it can happen, but the odds are against it. We would have won that game because we probably would have scored a touchdown, and we lost 19-16. And then they took away Tutu Atwell's touchdown along the sideline, and the replay showed that he was in. The call on the field was in, but they still overturned it. There wasn't enough evidence. So those are the things that nip me in the bud. Forget that it's against the Rams, against anyone. These guys work so hard to get themselves ready all week. They're playing with injuries or playing banged up, and I don't want to see stuff like that. Williams got the same face I have, man, with this emoji. And then you got my guy, Niner Sickness, rubbing it in. It's okay because I was rubbing it against the Browns. Bryce must hit the like button. Yes, indeed. Thank you, God. Thank you. Boss Life says, same old story, blame it on the refs. No, we didn't blame it on the refs. The refs didn't help us with our comeback, but it wasn't their fault that we messed up, and Brett Maher missed 2 kicks and an extra point. Brian Smith, the referee game, and still it was our fault for playing a sloppy game, was the Bengal game. We still should have won that game. You got a limping Boro, and we still should have won that game. And then, but we lost it. But they took away Tutu's touchdown, and with that touchdown, we would have won. Or the Tutu tugging the jersey, we would have won, because that would put us at the win. So that you can actually say they did well. They did hinder us in winning that game, but it wasn't all their fault. Bryce Smith, the Rams are the last NFC West team to win hardware. Is that bad? Bah, yes, indeed. The last NFC West and last NFC team. Also, the Rams have won the between the Niners, and because we have a lot of Niner fans in here, a couple of them. The Rams are the last franchise to have won the last 2 Super Bowls. Two, not 1, 2. It's your turn. And of course, both Super Bowls were after the 93 free agency era. Now, it doesn't matter, bro. You still lost today. That's what matters. Yeah, we did lose. Yes, we're not saying anything about that. But still, like I said, we are going to lose games. It sucks when you lose any game, but when they're winnable games. And then Darian Kendrick, I tweeted this too. He got arrested. He had marijuana on him. I don't know what the deal was with the gun. I don't know if it was his. He was in jail since I think it happened Sunday. He was in jail until Wednesday. He had a heart-to-heart with the coaching staff and his players and our players. And our guy McVay was in a tough spot, and he believes in the kid, and he let him play. The medical staff was getting him hydrated, because he's not in the best of shape being in jail for 3 days. And I'm sure the stress and stuff, and he had a bad game today and too much cushion. So did Kobe Durant and some of those plays to their guy. But I do want to point that out. Not that it would have made any difference, because the Niners have a really good team, but the Rams played the Steelers, and the Rams had their way with this team in the first half, and they didn't come out like this. They did the second half, but still, there was a winnable game. We should have won. Brett Maher making those kicks, but this is a different Steeler team. They had their offensive guard back, and they had one of their main weapons, the wide receiver, back. And but it's a different team. But yes, we still should have won. Bryce Smith and San Francisco still tried to buy one. Yeah, they're like, CMC, please. Please. And then you got John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Trent Williams, you're still one of the best, but you are long in the tooth, 50 years old at left tackle. Let's extend you and get some money for the cap. George Kittle, you're always hurt and you're on your last leg. Let's extend you and give money for the cap. So they're doing what the Rams did. Everyone says, don't do what the Rams did. They won a Super Bowl, though. They now made moves to get CMC, and the only reason why they have CMC, I must remind our guys in the chat, is because the Rams didn't have a 4th-round pick that they used on Sony, because they used it on Sony Michel in 2001 to get Sony Michel when Cam Akers went down, and he helped us win a Super Bowl. So I wouldn't change that. But if we had it, we would have CMC for our rebuild, and the Niners would be up Ship Creek. That's the only reason why they were able to outbid us. And John Lynch even said, we got him to keep him away from LA. They only do things because they want to stop us. And it just happened to work out for him, because at that time, remember, they give Debo the contract. And so he basically fleeced the Niners. Guy's always hurt. I mean, he gets out of his couch and he's hurt. I say that tongue in cheek because he plays physical games. That's why he gets hurt. But one Kelly Ram says, yo, sick focus off your glory days, most recent 80s. Danny Bear says, yo. Now this is excuses all out here. No, not excuses, man. We lost the game. You can't make no mistake about it. We lost the game. It would have been lovely if they would have gave our defense some love and let them have the stop that they did. The refs talking about on their own, but they didn't. And it's our fault for our Brett Maher missing those kicks. Boss Life says, same old excuses we have, but we still have more than y'all have in LA. You do have more. Let's just look at it this way. There's 2 ways to look at it. 5 is more than 2. 5 is more than 4, because we have 2 NFL championships to the Niners 0. Remember, Super Bowls are what we care about now, right? But if your great granddaddy was a San Francisco 49er fan with Y.E. Tudo and those guys, and he would love, I'm pretty sure he would love to see them win a championship. So I know Niner fans think that history, their NFL history started in 1981, but they were established in 1947. What happened to all those years before 1981? I could tell you, nothing. There's nothing. So the Rams not only have multiple championships pre-Super Bowl era, they have multiple championships in the Super Bowl era and also after the 93 free agency era. And so there you go. So yes, we still have 2 Super Bowls, 2 NFL championships. We won in all different cities. The Niners have moved to Santa Clara, which is 40 miles away from San Francisco. They're in Santa Clara County. You know, the Rams are in Inglewood, but that's Inglewood. But that's in Los Angeles County. That's in Los Angeles County. Right across from where the Showtime Lakers, SoFi Stadium, the Fabulous Forum is. At least the Rams have won 2 Super Bowls in Los Angeles. Well, 2 championships, rather. Strike that. 1 Super Bowl 2021 and the very first championship in 1951 of the California Championship. The very first championship in California, period. Before the Niners, before the Lakers, before the Dodgers, before the Raiders, before anybody, the Los Angeles Rams struck gold before the San Francisco 49ers did, or anyone else to make for that matter. So that's the second championship in Los Angeles. Well, the Niners in Santa Clara, since they moved to Santa Clara, have 0. But it was a hell of a run. Their history is like this, but their championship history is like this, where the Rams spread it out. They have more, but if you missed that 81 to 94 window, like most of them now that show up to other stadiums, they have to look it up on VHS tapes or YouTube. William says, this is getting old, same old. Yeah, man, it's going to be frustrating sometimes. It will get frustrating. Brian Smith says, that kicker's got to go. Dominator 49er, I'm going to tell you, Brett Maher was looking good early, right? He was making kicks. Oh, he's not too bad, right? Because he has the leg to do it, but he gets the yips. Our kicker right now makes your 3rd round kicker who just blew the game against the Browns look like all world. Okay, Niner sickness. I have to, I have a way of putting you back in your place because you get out of hand sometimes. I know you're my buddy, but I'm the one that has to restore order. So let's read this and then watch my retort. Watch how strong it is, and watch how I just go like he puts up a brick, and then I go. Watch this. Let's read this. Here we go. Watch this. This is fun. This is fun for me. Niner Sickness Podcast. Great content creator. He's my guy. He's also a Laker fan. He's one of those guys that has a Niner jersey, an LA Laker hat. It says "Go LA" when the Lakers play. But he's a San Francisco Niner, and we kid him about that because the Rams were out of the market for 20 years. So here we go. Everyone can hear that BS that's coming out of Rudy's mouth. This team is better. It doesn't matter. Are you still lost in your house? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But guess what? We have 12 rookies on the team. Teams lose at their stadium. That's what happens. Did we get blown out today? No. Did we have a chance to win? Yes. Did our kicker miss 2 field goals at an extra point? Yes. Did the refs kind of hose us in that last play? Yes, but that doesn't really matter. I'm talking about what we did or didn't do. And then we kept them around. And then they got the lead and they got going. But yeah, so see how I knocked all those down? Yes, you were right. But also it doesn't make sense to bring that up because you guys have lost at home before too. But yes, indeed. Brian says they brag about 1995. Yes, indeed. Shalauer says that should have been a turnover. Yes, indeed, it should have. It should have. And then I love this. Boss Life says 5-1. Well, 5-1 Boss Life. I have a question. So what is 5-0? Because those Lombardis were Eddie DeBarlo Jr.'s in San Francisco. You should have 5 and then 0 over here with Santa Clara on that side. Downer says refs won both our games. Yes, they did. Niner Citizens, I should have, could have, would have lost still at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Niner Citizens, like I told you, I texted you. There's a lot of things that went on. Our guy missed the kicks. We are gonna lose games that are gonna be very frustrating like this. I said this in the beginning of the year, even before we uncovered Puka Nacua. We thought it would be pretty good. Brian Smith says, bell bottoms and when the you guys crack me up. Okay, you guys crack me up, man. Yes, horrible loss. It was. I'm not gonna put no. When it says, man, you just cannot make this stuff up. Yes, indeed. SM says horrible loss, Rudy. Yes, it does, man. Well, LA Ram says, what's happening, everyone? Let's get to some clips. Let's get to some clips. You guys are out. So let's get into some good stuff first. Our LA LA teams, hashtag Niner Sickness. Are you listening? You're an LA Rams, LA Laker fan. It's all about LA teams, baby. Time to get rid of that San Francisco hat and get an LA Rams hat. And so here we go, our LA Kings, hashtag LA teams. Anze Kopitar checking in from SoFi Stadium.
Hey Rams fans, Anze Kopitar over here. Here at the game against the Steelers, and let's go Rams! Come on.
Yes, indeed. Let's go Rams. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, but here we go again. Javier Chicharito Hernández.
Hola a todos, habla su amigo Javier Chicharito Hernández. Estoy muy feliz que me hayan invitado aquí con los Rams a ver este partido. Les mando un fuerte abrazo.
Hold on. I totally messed that up because in case you guys don't speak Spanish, here, let me put that clip up and get the comment out of the way real quick.
Hola a todos, habla su amigo Javier Chicharito Hernández. Estoy muy feliz que me hayan invitado aquí con los Rams a ver este partido. Les mando un fuerte abrazo.
Gave him a cool little, gift box, whatever, and that's for LA Galaxy. And then here's our guy, Bruce Dodd Gatterol.
Hey Rams, Bruce Gatterol, piche los dos y estamos aquí disfrutando un poco del juego. Un saludito y bueno, vamos a divertirnos hoy.
Backwards. So that was, they gave our guy Gatterall from the Dodgers a little gift box and a cool little hoodie. But yes, indeed. And then also, too, you know what made me sick about this game? Besides the loss, I hate losing. I don't care if me and you are playing, me and anyone else is playing, washers or, the beanbag game, whatever it is. I hate losing, right? We were losing. And guess who made a big catch? Guess who made a big catch? The sleepwalker himself, Allen Robinson. And then here's our guy, Ben Skoranek. What are you doing, Benny? I mean, it's just a game, yes, but by the way, we haven't heard Allen Robinson's name very much either since he left he's on the Steelers. Here they are right here. Yeah, nice. Pretty much right after that, Skoranek walked to the locker room and threw that jersey in the trash. I'm just kidding, but I was like, are you kidding me? That was Allen Robinson that just made that catch. Oh boy, I tell you, man. Let's see. Where's my videos? Hold on, guys. Hold on, I'm setting up these clips because I had them in here and I guess they timed out. I guess I don't know. StreamYard, I tell you. You can hear some funny fuzzy noises. Hold on, that's a laptop at work. All right, here we go. Here's our first clip. Here's our first clip. Here we go.
That's outside. Look at all that space you got to work with. That's a great inside move by Michael Hoyt. It's a different style. Jaylen Warren is outstanding when it's tackle to tackle, and you've got inside blitz.
Hoyt! There he is right there. So this was a Mickey Mouse game, so I have my Mickey Mouse shirt on. Let's see. Hold on. Daddy Barry Sports says, get Maurer off the squad, man. He killed me today, man. Let's see. Stockton says, this game was a complete joke, man. I literally felt like puking. I was getting mad, dude. Brian Smith. SoCal fans, the season is over if we don't beat the Cowboys. No, it's not over. Remember, we're going to go either 9-8 or 8-9. There's a lot of losses, a lot of wins that we can still get in there. Look at the records for the other teams. But it does suck though. As this is Rudy, did it sound like McVay was making a change at kicker in press conference? I haven't had a chance to see that. I was said it at my show, but listen, we don't even need to think about that, SM, because we already know that that's on their mind. Because we cannot go into a game where you're having to do 2-point conversions early in the game because your kicker is missing field goals. Really? So yes, if you thought that, then I'm going to go with what you're thinking. Yes, indeed. Stockton says, if we don't cut Maurer, I'm done with this season. Stockton with, I'm taking my bike. Ellie Ram says, okay. Danny Berry says, we need more defense. Yes, indeed. And you know what? I want to say something. I'm a big Kobe Durant fan. The land shark, Kobe Durant, right? Where are you, my brother? Where are you? Now, there was one play where I couldn't see if it was his man, and I tweeted about it. And he's playing way off, and then he kind of, the receiver's coming over here, and he's back here. Let me do it this way. The receiver's coming here on the inside. He's way off of him, and he caught it and goes up to him, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, get closer. I don't know if there was a guy on the outside, but we haven't heard his name in a lot of plays. He hasn't got any turnovers. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's banged up. SM says every loss has been winnable. That's a great point. You know, losses are losses. You know, there's no chart. There's no credit that you get for almost. As the Niners can attack, you know, as the Niners can tell you, we started calling them Santa Clara almost. When it comes to big games. But yes, the Eagles game, the Niners game, we were doing what we needed to do at a lot of points of those games. We gave them both touchdowns right before halftime with PIs. We didn't come out to the second half. The Bengals game, we were right there. We had that game too. This game, we were right there. We had that game. So yes, indeed. But it's a young team. It sucks this is going to happen. But our young team doesn't have nothing to do with this damn kicker doing this stuff. Stalker says this team should be 6-1 or 5-2 at worst. Yes, indeed. I agree. At the very worst, 5-2. 6-1 is kind of a lot to ask, just because we're not a polished team. We're not where we're going to be. You know, there's a lot of players that haven't even gotten a chance to do what they're going to do yet. The Tre'Davious Tomlinson, O'Shawn Mathis just barely came back a couple of games ago. The Duke Shelley. You know, we got some really young, good players. Bryce says, oh, geez, people, kicker is the most thankless job in the world. It's been Dominic for Puka Nacua, baby. Yeah, I love Puka, man. Puka, you know what? Listen, we're just lucky to have Puka Nacua. I'm just going to tell you that. We were lucky. To have drafted Puka Nacua. I'm going to give Les Snead and the guys props for drafting Puka Nacua. This man is a beast. And remember, I told you, he can do some of the things that Cooper Kupp does. He's no Cooper Kupp, right? Cooper Kupp started off slow today, but he's still, you know, getting back. He's the only human. And, but Puka Nacua ain't afraid to run somebody over. He's our Polynesian Debo. Oh, Puka. Oh, Puka. Except this man actually does some things every week. And even as a rookie, he doesn't have one good game and then takes a seat and runs people over and then goes out. Knock on wood. LA Rams says, F it. We're going 5-4 into the bye week 10. Woo! Jacques Fortier says, on to Dallas. We can beat the boys next week. I believe so too. William says, the refs do us like this more than you guys want to admit. Yeah, man, I don't like the refs. SM says, TBH, I'm over this game already. Bad loss, bad refs, kicker, but you can't leave the game in the refs' hands. And McVay was too trusting of Mauer. I saw those misses coming. You're exactly right, Stockton. Zach Evans is Rudy's new Bryce Perkins. Bryce, listen, we don't. I want to see him. Now, you're really telling me that Rolls Royce Freeman is that much better than Zach Evans? No, I don't think so. We'll see. But Zach Evans has that gear. He has that 4th and 5th top gear. Bryce was, we're doing better than talking into predictions. Exactly right. Even with these tough losses. There's my guy, Willie Bowen. I'm pissed off because Mauer missed those field goals. Exactly right. Let's get back to another clip. Let's see. StreamYard, I love how when I run a clip, you don't have it grayed out so I can see which one I just ran. Good job, StreamYard. That's the you can see the you can see the soft. What is going on? There's StreamYard. When I play a clip, it doesn't gray it out. Anyway, that's okay. Here we go.
Run play.
Empty set. Stafford with 5 in the pattern. He's got Cooper Kupp with space, and he taps the toes for a catch near midfield. On 3rd and 11, they get 24. There's the left and the drag of the right. And the completion.
There's a left and a drag of the right. So listen, we're over this loss already. Really not. Still irritated. But these are times where we have to just like, but it sucks though, because it really wasn't because, well, DK, Darian Kendrick, made some bonehead, played horrible today. But it wasn't so much that it was our young players that made mistakes. It was the damn kicker. And then because he didn't make his kicks, we didn't go ahead by 2 scores, and we couldn't make the Steelers one-dimensional. They could still run the ball and run their offense. And also gave them balls because not that Mike Tomlin needs balls, but when you're down by 2 scores, you're not going to be as ballsy when you're like you were when you're up a touchdown and your defense is starting to play good to do certain plays on the other side, so like go for it on 4th and 1. So yeah, that changes the whole complexity of the game. Those 2 missed kicks and extra point changed the whole thing. So besides the referee's stupid thing, that's the main thing, because we would have been up by 2 scores. We went up by at least 10. And so now you get a little tighter. You got to run the ball. The clock is ticking. A lot of stuff, man. But it just is what it is. We'll just have to get over that now. Danny Berry says, Bengals, Eagles, Steelers are coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Yes, indeed. Mauer's trash. Steve says, I have Mauer in my fantasy. Oh, man. he honestly, Daniel Berry, at one time he was looking okay. We're like, oh, okay. David McNider says, refs make mistakes all the time. Too bad they can't have a challenge flag thrown on them. Yeah, you know what? That's a great comment, David McNider. I mean, they're human beings. They don't even have like a full-time referee crew. Hey, you work tomorrow? Oh yeah, I work at the CVS pharmacy. As much money as the NFL makes, they should have a full-time crew that's all they do. They work on their skills. They look at tape during the off season. They hone new rules. They put in inputs of what was working during the games, things like that. They're still human. They're still going to make mistakes. But when stuff like this happens, forget against us. We're just the the Rams team trying to make our way, get to the postseason again with 12 rookies. We can't afford mistakes or referee mistakes to hinder us. But imagine if this was a Super Bowl or a big game and the team loses and you can't challenge it because you're out of timeouts, and the ball changed hands. The ball would have changed hands. They kept the ball, right? That's what I meant to say. Sorry, the first time. The ball would have changed hands. It was a big play. The referees should see it. Oh, yeah. So here they stretch it out. Okay, so they made it just barely. Well, let's run it back then. You don't have any timeouts, McVay? Let's run that back. Let's make sure, right? It should be that way. You want to get what's right. Brian Smith says better draft position is all I care about. We have our first number 1, too, by the way, next year. Willie Bowen says Leslie needs to send Maurer to Victoria's Secret where he can pick up his pink slip. Brian Smith said it could be worse. It could be worse. The Niners situation. SM says, I'm not blaming the refs. Rams got outplayed despite that. Yeah, second half they did. I'll give you that. Russ Ogden says Rams were better team on the field by far and lost again. Looked like Cincy game. The Rams, in my opinion, had more explosive plays and they look really good. But the second half, towards the end, they were getting after Stafford. But it's still, if we would have made that kick, we would have been up by 2 scores. So that's, I agree with both comments there, SM and Stockton. William says, like I said all week, not to give Pickett the middle of the field. Well, that's what the Rams defense lets them do. When we play the Niners, that's where they kill us, in the middle of the field. Michael Armenta says, disappointed, another winnable game lost. Too many penalties and mistakes. Yep. Willie Bowen says, also the power puff defensive plays from Raheem Morris are terrible too. Yes, indeed. Yep. The Cardinals. Stockton says, Wider sickness. Oh, no, come on. Don't do that to my guy, Stockton. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. You're my guy too, but that's not cool. That's not cool, brother. I still love you though. Bro, G12 says, oye, big boy, habla español. Échale, who's casa? Rams casa? SM says, my bad, Brian Smith. I misread your comments. You're good. Taka says, Maurer cost us 7 points. He really did, man. SM says, can't lie, that CMC trade was brilliant by Lynch and Shanahan. Yeah, man, we tried to get him. SM. We tried to get him, but we didn't have that 4th round pick and they outbid us. Both teams are trying to help each other and keep the man from each other's team. We try to get him. Brian Smith said Talking Heads had us 0-17. Well, listen, the thing that hurts too, well, no, it hurts is a strong word. The thing that's irritating is that this is one of the games too that we were actually favored. 3.5. It went to 3, then went back to 3.5. Starks is brilliant. It was desperate. He's going to be hurt off on all season. Yes, indeed. He has a torn, whatever it was, labrum, whatever you. But the guy's a gamer, though. We wanted him. He's a hell of a player. He's the difference in making Brock Purdy look really good. Excuse me. But I can't fault what Brock Purdy's done over there with San Francisco. But I do have to point out one thing, though, too, is as good as he's played, he hasn't done anything different than Jimmy G. Remember, the Niners went to the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship game without Brock Purdy. So because you were able to get back to where you were before with Brock Purdy, that just means you didn't mess it up. So show me that you're the difference. And so far, yeah, you hear the Larry Krugers. The Niners score 30 points a game, and this is an all-pro team. And okay, wonderful. The regular season. Where's the 30 points in the NFC Championship game? Where is that stout old line against regular season teams where they protect Purdy? They don't let him get hit like that, except for a couple times against the Rams and other teams. Where is that? We already seen that. Do that in the postseason. Now you have something. So this, well, we average 30 points and we're beating up teams that we should beat. Congratulations. You know, that's what I have to say about that. I mean, a W is a W, but you have to get past where you've been. Just like my Dodgers, we make the postseason. Yeah, okay, I'm a Dodger fan. Yeah, who's in the damn Astros are in the playoffs still? The Astros. Where are we at? Pinchy or Urias, Gordon. SM says, true, he does have an injury history, Stockton. Yes, indeed. Brian Smith says, Christ, Glass McCaffrey. Justin, how do we get Mauer replaced? We're going to bring in some kickers. And listen, I ran this by Stockton. Tell me, you guys in the chat. And also, too, I always forget to do this because I have such a good time with you guys in here. In the chat, do you guys think this is a good idea? Now, we have a lot of cap. We have a clear cap next year. All these draft picks, so we can, you know, get over the hump and get our free agents. Les Snead's going to be aggressive. Should we try to sign Robbie Gould to help us this year and also keep him away from San Francisco? Now, Stockton, we were going over that. He said, well, I don't think they're going to go after him, but if their kickers keeps crapping the bed, that keeps him away from maybe winning a Super Bowl or the championship game. And now we have a good kicker who's proven for a year. And maybe we can do an incentive-laden 2-year deal, right? And it also keeps him away from San Francisco. And then we have him for the game against San Francisco. What do you guys think in the chat about that? You know, Willie Bones says, I mean, I'd rather have an edge rusher, but we do need a kicker, though. And then we get one of the best ones. Willie Bones says, Shannon didn't get the Winers the Lombardi trophy. He failed twice. Yes, indeed. Justin says, Rams were fortunate to beat the Colts despite Mauer suckery. Yep, that's exactly right. They allowed them to come back. Brian Smith says, Dwebo and Purdy are soft as F. SN says, he almost cost them that game too. That's a fact, Justin. Yes, indeed. That is exactly right. Justin says, missed a few preseason too. Yep, when he was with the Broncos. When we got him, I remember telling Stockton that we got him. And I'm like, man, but that's the same guy that got the yips when he was a Cowboys kicker. And here we are again. Justin CMC will be injured soon, Brian. You will be over. Well, I don't wish that though. He is injury prone though, but I don't wish injuries on nobody. You know, I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt because it sucks when you're backing your team up and then you get a damn injury. You know, I know as a Ram fan, I know about freaking injuries. Van Bat says, how you doing, brother? He says, tell the truth, Rudy. Rams have 4 championships. Exactly right, baby. And that's why I say, you know, not to go back into that, but if we were old dudes, right? If we were around in the Norm Van Brocklin, you know, Jim Brown time, and that was the NFL championship back then, right? You had Crazy Legs Hirsch. You had all those great players. You know, it was a much smaller league, you know. And the Rams won the championship, or the Green Bay Packers won all those championships. That's what was available then. You know, just because it wasn't a Super Bowl, the Super Bowl didn't exist. The Super Bowl didn't exist. So, but for your team to be, and I'm bringing back the Santa Clara Crew, in the league since 1947, and you didn't win diddly squat until 1981. Now, the 5 Super Bowls, you know, maybe they were saving their load all those years, and excuse me, you know, it was a hell of a 13-year run. But, you know, that's all I'm saying. Yes, indeed. It says worst part of it was Mauer looked like he didn't care that he missed those kicks. No, I think he's thinking that he's going to get fired. I think he's getting fired. I think in his mind he's like, oh, you know, like say you're in a forklift at work, and you actually run over somebody's foot. Oh, are you okay? You know you're going to get fired. Besides, you hurt somebody. It's a different scenario, but you're just like you're just like numb. You're like shit. G-Tross says, Rudy, Rams lose. Cono, those piñatas. My guy West Hill Rock 5 Rings. Hey, Ramelia, what's good, brother? How you doing, man? Thank you for coming in. Man, I was rooting for you guys against the damn Niners, man. You guys better not show up against us now. Don't be Dak start throwing dimes and stuff and your guy Pollard start running the ball looking like Eric Dickerson out there, and CeeDee Lamb start doing something. How you doing, man? Appreciate you. G12 says Rudy great does not fit Niners in this content. It's all talk, zero news, facts, etc. It's just cookie cutter content. Plus, he likes to disrespect the viewers. Ooh. Willie Bowen says, "Sup, LA Rams?" Yes, indeed. G12 says, "Rudy on tonight's game." Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And SM says a great comment. SM says, "Good luck to your Dolphins." Yes, indeed. Good luck to your Dolphins, G12. Man, I hope they keep rolling. I would love to. I'm going to tell you something, G12. If we're not there, I'm rooting for two other teams. Jared Goff and the Lions and your Dolphins. Because I would love, besides you guys get the chip, right? Your team, my guy G12. Also, McDaniels gets the Super Bowl Lombardi before Kyle Shanahan. I would love that. Imagine the live streams in here. Mid exchanging jerseys. Yes, indeed. Allen Robinson and Skoranek. SoCal fan says, "Can we hire Chicharito to be our kicker?" I know, man. I know. Dominator 49er says, "Rooting for those Fins. Let's go." Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The Dolphins. You call him Flipper. Chuloco says, "I blame this loss on McVay for signing Maurer. Maurer totally sucks." Yeah, man. Gay was really good, man. Williams still weak pass rush. We got to get after it more, man. We might have to make a move. We got to. I'll tell you what. Washington team. I'll give you a Aaron Donald signed poster, a McVay Lombardi edition cap, and a 3rd and a 4th round pick for Montez Sweet. And you guys take some of his salary this year. Stockton Slash says, "Great effort by Puka Nacua today, all for nothing." This man was making some hell of a catches. They didn't give me a lot of video on him, but let's see if I have one here. I didn't get a chance to label it. Let's see which one this one is.
Off the fake. This is where Stafford's at his best. Play action. Nacua in traffic. And he made the catch. What a play by Puka Nacua.
This dude, man. There's nothing you can say. He already has his jersey in Canton, right? For the best streak. And I saw somewhere, I didn't get a chance to take a picture of it when I was watching it. The best 6th game now by a wide receiver. So, man, we're so fortunate, man. Listen, the Rams are rising back up. People were throwing dirt on us. Matthew Stafford's still that dude. He can make every throw in the book. We just got to keep him protected. We're now getting an O-line. It's not perfect. We're still getting it together, but we are able to run the ball. We were able to run the ball today with our Darrell Henderson coming off of the couch. We activated Freeman off of the practice squad, and we had to get Gaskin, and so Zach Evans is still there. We'll see what happens with him, but yes, indeed, I'm so stoked. And just like our guy Sean McVay right here.
Sean McVay likes what he sees from the offense on a few of these trips. They closed the first half with a score, some impressive plays,
and just remember to listen. It sucks that we lost, right? It does. We hate losing. We should have won this game. We should have won this damn game. But these are things that we're going to have to go through. Patience. This is our journey this year. We'll see what happens. G12 says, "Rudy, skipping over my comments, Vato." Let me see. Thanks, SM. Not that one. Is it? Missed it. Oh. G12 says, "Rudy, Rams lose." Oh, we got that one already. I did. I got your comment, did I? I skipped some of them because I wanted to catch up. Oh, Dominator 49er says CMC wanted to be a Niner. He has ties to Shanahan. He did want to, but he would. If we would have signed him, he would have been good too with McVay. Let's see. Stuck his brain. It was desperate. He's going to be hurt all off season. I don't see which one. And I'm sorry, G12. I'm sorry. I was wanting to catch up. Victor Perez. There we go. SM says Brad Holmes didn't draft Puka Nacua. Yes, indeed. You may contact and follow Rudy of the Really Sports Report via Twitter at xtwitter.com. Via Twitter, twitter.com, Sports Vermilia. Yes, indeed. Stocker says Cup dropped 2 easy catches to set the tone early on. That killed us. G12 says you may contact Rudy of the Really Sports Report on Instagram via Instagram.com. Instagram.com/Vermilia Sports. Yes, indeed. G12 says, do the Rams have a dependable kicker on their practice squad? Maurer needs to go. No, we got to get somebody else. No, Rams Legend of the Dia only on Wednesdays. G12 says on tap for the Rams, the Cowboys, the Packers, the bye, Seattle, Arizona. Now the bye, Kyrie Williams is supposed to be back at the bye. So I can see us winning one or both of these next 2 games and then come back strong for Seattle, Arizona. I can see us winning these next 5 games or 4 of the 5 games. And that'll put us right back in the mix. Rick F says, can Ethan Evans kick a field goal? I was thinking that too, Rick. Thank you for coming in, Rick. Appreciate you, brother. Can he? It's a different thing. You know, you have the ball and boop. I know it's a different set of the way you kick it, placeholder and you're dropping it down. You probably have to, do a lot of reps, but I would imagine, man, I would imagine you can teach yourself something like that, but it probably not in the season while it's going on. SS says, Rathsburg Steelers. Grand Dodger 12 says, Rudy, Dale in Spanish, Dela. Delay. It essentially means give it or go ahead in the English. Say it, Ram letters. What time is it? Oh, yes. Okay. Rick F says we could have been up 24-10 at one point. Exactly right, man. That's what I mean. We could have been up to a couple of scores, even just with the 7 points. With that 7 points, like you said, whatever. SS says, play Logan Bruss at kicker, anybody? Hawkman 5 says before the short blown call, that wasn't a pass interference. Oh yes, great comment. The Witherspoon, and then they got a taunting, and then you saw, and I kind of, that's kind of cheesy by I don't know if you guys saw the replay on that of our guy, the Steelers coach, Tomlin. When he got that, he was like like laughing at Witherspoon because he's all butt hurt because we got Dotson and we got Witherspoon and they're starting for us. So remember, he's butt hurt about that. And then his guy, he patted him on the shoulder and he got in trouble for taunting. So he kind of got shattered right there. But yeah, he didn't even touch him. The guy was supposed to throw a back shoulder fade. Witherspoon went like this, didn't even really touch him at all. And the ball got thrown in front of him, and the guy tried to go get that way. It was a bad pass, and they called pass interference. What? True Lucas says Maurer sucks. Maurer sucks. Yes, indeed. Steve-O, this show is canceled just like your season. No, Steve-O, it's not either way. What kind of Russ says, brothers, we beat ourselves. Time to regroup, focus on the falling stars. Yes, indeed. Rick F says, I'm a secret Astros fan. I love Altuve. I'm props to you, man. I'm still butthurt about that damn season where they caught him cheating or whatever, because I took away a ring from my Dodgers. But props to you, brother, if you're a Rams fan. It's all good. Of course, I'm not going to be happy about the Astros. And I say that because they were able to overcome that year, all that stuff happening. And they're still in the playoffs. And here we are with my Dodgers. I'm just not a big Dave Roberts fan though either. But props to you, man. You know, that's cool. One Colorado says, yo, sick. We ram up and deal with it. No excuses. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Send Maurer to the Bermuda Triangle. Willie Bowen says. One Colorado says, I can't wait until you all take down your flags and decals off your truck. G12 says, Rudy, despite the loss, the Rams players did show up and promised played well. Yeah, exactly right. They just didn't do it. One Colorado says, Landshark G. Yes, indeed. My guy Joe says, Rudy, loco, I'm pissed at our LA Rams, homie. McVay needs to regroup his own head in the decision making. Yeah, man, but that dang kicker, man, messed everything up, brother. Jared Goff and the Lions had a reality check today, got their buttholes blown out today. You know what? Great comment. So I tweeted that too, that I'm rooting for I'm rooting for the Lions, and all of a sudden the 2020 Jared Goff showed up today. One Kelly Rams is crazy. I just saw that comment. You guys are too much. Okay, here we go. Let me see. See, I can't tell which clip I left off, StreamYard. Thanks a lot. Let's see. Then we're gonna get out of here for the game's gonna start.
It's outside. Look at all that space you got to work with. That's a great inside move by Michael Hoyt. It's a different style run play.
Empty set, Stafford with 5 in the pattern. He's got Cooper Kupp with space, and he taps the...
Nakua's going to get the crossing route, but watch number 5 adjust. He sees the completion right there. Great job. Just that little bit of contact on Joey Porter allows him to get about 12 more yards down the field.
That's what makes the Rams receivers really, really good. We hit the 2-minute warning in the first half.
The guy's a bad man, dude. I was running through the clips because I couldn't tell which ones I ran or good. Let's do one more and then we'll get out of here.
Off the fake. This is where Stafford's at his best. Play action. Nakua in traffic. And he made the catch. What a play by Puka Nakua.
Puka Nakua. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Just taking a stride, guys. You know, we lost. It sucks that we lost. Another game that we should have won or could have won. Could have, should have, would have. But it's like I told you, it's going to happen like that this year. We're going to lose games that we should have won, and we haven't stole one yet, though. We haven't stolen one yet. I said we're going to steal some games. Let's take that Cowboys win. Let's take the Packers win, the next two, and let's get that bye and then smack the Seahawks. So let's do it, baby. Let's see. Stockton says the saddest thing is that we are better than 90% of the NFC, and we are going to waste the opportunity by losing games. We shouldn't. Look at how weak the NFC teams are, and we can play with any of them. Exactly right, Stockton. Remember, I told you guys, the NFC is weak this year. The NFC is weak. And we, even though we haven't been winning, we're able to be, we look like we have, well, we for sure have better offense than most of the NFC teams. Our defense has played better than we thought. Yes, exactly right. Emeezy says Freeman should start. He's a good big body at running back. Like that. I want to see Zach Evans get a couple of reps too, though. The game has started. First quarter is almost over. Okay, let's get going. G12 says, "Oh, Rudy, where did you watch the game at the Casa?" I was at the house. I was at the house today. SF said, "This long is going to sting if it costs the Rams the playoff spot. This loss is going to sting." Yep. Reminds me of 2029. The Rams lost this. Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Expired and lost to the Rams playoff berth. That sucked, dude. That we lost that. We would have made the playoffs. All right, guys, appreciate you so much. Let's watch the game. As we always say, may the Romulia be with you. And Romulators, mount up. We'll see you guys on tomorrow night. Have a great night, everyone.